Hi,
Oh,
everyone.
and we are live.
We are
Hello,
live.
everyone.
Yes.
Good to
Uh,
see you all here,
yeah.
as well as on our side, as well as within the audience, as there are a lot of people who already signed up. Yeah, good to see everyone. My name is Andre Bernhard, and I'm here without fabulous Astrid at the moment because today she's not hosting the show, but I'm the host. But to not do this alone, I brought two wonderful, fantastic people with me who are going to support me, be with
Mhm.
me, and try to replace Astrid as good as possible. So yeah, my name is Andre Bernhard. I'm the indie advisor, but I'm not the only one. Um, I'm here with Juliana and Nico. And maybe both of you go ahead and give us a quick introduction of yourself.
Ladies
Um,
first.
Hi, I'm Juliana, but most people call me Jules. I'm the project manager at devcom, and I'll be the one honored to play the game today. Yeah. Also tech wizard for the stream. Okay, Nico,
Hopefully
go ahead.
everything runs fine. So otherwise, we're going to easily blame you on it. No, everything's looking good so far. Nico,
It's
who are
okay.
you again?
Hi, I'm
What are you
Nico.
and what are you doing here?
I'm just backseat gaming today. Probably ask a couple of stupid questions, and that's what I signed up for. And I enjoy, people playing games and popping hats. That's nice.
Popping heads. Maybe that's something we're going to talk about. Yeah, maybe some of you recognized already today, this afternoon, the show is 18 plus because it's a special edition of the show. And by the way, yeah, I didn't introduce what I'm doing. I'm taking care of the Indie Expo at the DevCon when it's happening, besides being hosting this fantastical show, Vertical Slice, together with Astrid, who is not with us today, but she's within the chat. So if you want to send over greetings to her and give her some jump scare moments, it's your chance now. Oh, today is a very special edition of Vertical Slice, as it's our second show of the CryEngine Game of the Year Award special. This means last year we already had a game with us, which was a nominee for the CryEngine Game of the Year Award.
Last week.
Last week, what did I say?
Last year.
Yeah, time runs so fast when you're getting older. So last week we had a game with us already, and today there's another game with us, which you can vote for later on right now already in the Crytek forums if it's your game of the year. But first of all, it would be a good idea to get to know what the game is called and what it's about. Actually, as the show is 18 plus, today we are going to play Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 from CI Interactive. And to do this, we are not alone. We also brought two people with us. But before we bring them into the show, let's do the housekeeping first. And let me know whether I missed anything out about the CryEngine Game of the Year award. So Nico.
I mean, maybe just to give people who are watching a glimpse of what's to come. We have two more shows coming up for this special series. Next week it's next week, right? We have the third game, Uninvited Guest, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the week after that, Astrid and me will actually be in our office in Cologne in the studio together with Gabe from CryEngine, and we'll host the actual award ceremony for the CryEngine Game of the Year award. And I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also, we have today a special about giving you the chance to win one of the games that we're going to play. And today we got 3 editions of Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 within the raffle. And if you want to participate in that, you have to hit hashtag SGW within the chat. And later on, you get selected. Also, we got a special prize.
Oh, yes.
Yes, special prize, which is also 18 plus. Everything 18 plus today, which is a special swag bag, which includes. Sadly, no one of us has this swag bag already, so we could show it, or?
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't think so. And also, I was told that we're not 100% sure about the contents of that. But
Yeah,
cool
there are
stuff.
It's a surprise swag bag, but some things we can mention, some things we cannot mention that are inside the bag because they are maybe not inside the bag. Who knows? Let's talk about what's inside, what is already confirmed. It's a skull. Within a huge backpack, there's also a pencil, and there's also some kind of mask and a survival kit. All the people of you who want to survive the COVID pandemic in style and healthy. That's also additional prize that is going to be given away by the Raffle.
Mhm.
I want one of those swag bags. I'm not gonna lie. Especially, I want the balaclava that's in it. They are, this sounds good.
Maybe hashtag SGW. And the
I'm not gonna
force might be with you.
participate.
No team members allowed. No team members allowed. Yeah.
Sad.
Sorry to be the party pooper here.
But I think
Shall we get our guests in?
This is a good segue, right? This is the perfect time to actually bring our two guests onto the show, Daniel and Kenton from CI Games.
Yeah, here we go.
Applause.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. How are the two of you doing? Everything's fine in Poland.
Yeah, a little bit snowy today, but it's okay.
It's okay.
Oh, that must be nice. I'm actually in France and it's lovely here.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
okay. So it's quite a crowd today with the five of us.
Yeah.
Maybe first of all, Kenton, Daniel, can you give us a short introduction about who you are and what are you doing at CI Interactive?
Absolutely. I'm Kenton Fletcher and I'm the lead creative producer over at CI. And with me I have...
Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Sławinski. I'm a lead level designer at CI Games. And thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for being with us. We are super excited to play Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2, or at least Juliana is, because she does the action and we just do the talking.
Yeah, shall we jump right in?
Yes, please. And meanwhile, Daniel, Kenton, who of you is giving us the elevator pitch of what the game is about? If you have to describe it in one sentence.
Kenton. Go.
That's funny. I was just about to say Daniel.
Well, he was faster, so.
Yep. I don't know about one sentence, but the short version is you're a member of a mercenary group sent into a mythical Middle Eastern regime to take down a brutal group of criminals, basically.
And perfect. I think that sums it up quite well. And as our show is called Vertical Slice, and we usually have like a prototype or vertical slice versions of the game. This time it's not a vertical slice. This game is available as we see and play it right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for information, I already played the tutorial where I had to shoot a few cardboard people. So now we can. So I already know a little bit about the controls of the game, but now we can dive right into the actual first contract.
Yep. Now it gets real.
Did you shot the furthest one?
Yes, I did. I did.
Good.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Okay.
We brought the best sniping people we had in the office to this show, so to make sure not to blame ourselves while playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first installment of the game, but it's like how many sniper games have there been out already by CI Interactive?
Was this number 6, Daniel?
I've 1, 2, 3 contracts 1 and contracts 2. That's 5th one in the series.
But then there was a sniper game before Sniper Ghost Warrior.
Yeah, there was a sniper. There was, but it was kind of like a spin-off-ish thingy. So if you count like the Sniper Ghost Warrior series, this is the 5th one. Where like you have Sniper 1, 2, and then 3rd one, which is the open world one, and then you have like 2 entries, the contract series.
Yeah, we'll call it 5, but the team's been making sniper games for a long time now.
Okay, fantastic.
Wait a second. The character class. I mean, it's a sniper game. You select a sniper. Where's the difference between the sharpshooter and the veteran sniper?
This is difficulty rather than class.
Okay.
I'll
it
go
can get
veteran.
very, very punishing if you get towards Deadeye.
Astrid says I can do veteran, so I'll see if I can make it work with veteran.
I mean, right from the start, I can imagine, even without having played the game so far, but I assume that the difficulty, what does change in terms of simply, I don't know, probably higher damage for your character that you receive, or I could imagine that there's a lot of changes within the HUD, for example, like, I don't know, less info, or what's the biggest difference when you go to
so basically, as the difficulty increases, as you mentioned, like the health and damage of the enemies is the one thing, right, which is like most obvious one. But then there is also like aggression of enemies and their behavior, like how fast they notice you and so on. And the HUD things you mentioned, they are actually starting to kick in from only on the last difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any what kind of options do you have actually not related to the actual difficulty but within the game, for example, like, I don't know, adding or taking away additional info?
Well, in terms of the options, I think you have your standard setups like head bobs and whatnot, like resolutions and blah blah blah. But the whole setup is pre-configured to the difficulty.
Okay.
Right. So it's like once you choose your difficulty, you can you have your like presets right there. Now the one thing is that you can choose difficulty between each mission, basically, right? So once you go in, you can try out difficulty. If you don't like it, you can easily repeat the same map with any difficulty you want, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to ensure that no one was getting stuck anywhere or that people weren't flying through the game too easily. So we've made it so you can tailor the experience to what you actually want.
What is the engine that you are using?
Oh, it's a CRYENGINE.
Surprisingly.
Isn't that kind of like
Yeah, okay. Laughs on me. Drinks on me next time.
That's okay.
I was
That's
sure
where I
that
am.
it wasn't. I was sure that it wasn't another one.
Good one.
Obviously, I perfectly understand how this game works. First of all, I totally understood the engine, and then I also really got to know the character class for the difficulty screen selection. So maybe I'm not asking that many questions anymore.
I mean, there's actually a couple of questions that I already had on my mind. I mean, the first one is maybe a bit of an obvious one, especially when considering or regarding the main differences between this title and, let's say, your typical FPS. I assume that it's most likely gonna be like a focus on ballistics and realistic physics, but what would you say is the main difference between, like, for example, say your regular Call of Duty-ish game?
Yeah, so I mean, like in heart, like our game is a sniping game, right? So it's all centered about those, sniper moments and fantasy of being a sniper. But it's not only like sniping mechanics themselves. Oops. But it's also.
Whoops.
Hold on, let's see how this plays out.
Oh, well. It was just two
sneaky.
of them. I wasn't sneaky enough. I should have dropped on the ground. Apparently.
There is basically like how the game handles tutorials and a lot of things is that there is no really wrong way to approach things. There is rarely any like hard punishment except like player death. So it's not like the game doesn't force you to like go with specific style at specific situation. And so what I was saying, I kind of lost my mind. Oh yeah, about the differences, right? So I would say the main difference is that the whole game is like the level design of it. Like this is I can speak of because I'm a level designer, so I can speak a little bit about it. So the whole level design of the maps is kind of like tailor-made for the sniping in mind. So there is like when building the maps, you have like a lot of checking, like do we have like good line of sight? Is there enough approach points to the enemy encampments and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and I think something Daniel mentioned a minute ago is kind of really central to the Contracts experience, which is, yeah, we're a sniper game, and you tend to go into it with quite a slow pace. You're trying to be the stealthy sniper. But as you said, we don't really punish the player that much when things start going wrong.
Mhm.
So if all of a sudden you do get spotted and you've got people firing at you left, right, and center, at that point you can then pull out an assault rifle and start playing a bit more like a traditional FPS.
Mhm.
And that thing of not punishing the player is something that it makes the game a lot more interesting to play, rather than feeling like, oh, people have spotted me, so I have to restart.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, Daniel, you basically took away one of the follow-up questions that I had for later, because obviously...
Oh,
Woo! Okay, that was nice.
I guess you hit him.
I
It's
think
just
I
a
did.
flesh wound.
Yeah, of course.
We have a hostile sniper.
Oh.
Awaiting orders. Clear.
well... Good one!
Recon for location.
Yeah, like I said, you actually took away, you already answered one of the follow-up questions that I had, because I could imagine that considering the core focus of the game, doing a lot of kills on long distance, requires a certain approach to the actual level design, which you can already see, of course, like very large open areas. Considering the pacing, I mean, yeah, main job, like you said already, Kenton, this is sometimes things go south and people start to engage and probably enemies want to close up on the position of a sniper and so on. So besides these situations, considering things go wrong and you have to engage in closer quarters combat, do you also have sections where the game requires you to go in closer from the start to change the pacing a bit?
No, I mean the principle of our like design thinking behind the game is that we want it to be player driven rather than game driven. So basically the game itself is quite methodical, right? So you sneak through the levels and so on. Obviously you can go loud, you can go quiet and whatnot, use different gadgets and different playstyles, but there is no scripted sequence that like you walk in somewhere, you trigger a cutscene, and then a car chase happen or whatever, right? So if anything, it's basically we made it in that way with the purpose of this being a player-driven experience, right? So if anything goes wrong, you still can fix it. You can like adapt to the situation, basically.
And one thing you will see quite often is there's quite different routes that you can find towards where the objectives are. There was one time I was playing one of the maps that the level designers had created, and I found an entire route I'd never even seen was there before.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, I think they try to. So if you do the alarm, you have to like keep an eye of the enemies that they try to encircle you. So once you get the alarm started, just watch your back, because they're gonna try to like flank you if they will have your position. So they will not have your position right away if they only heard like one gunshot. But if you start popping heads like you did like previously, which is a good thing.
It's fun, definitely.
Yeah, but it will get their attention basically, right? So after a couple of shots, just get out of your scope, look around, and you should be fine.
Okay, let's see if I can actually get that one through the stairs. Like
What?
that.
While Nico was asking about the level design, does that include the movement of the guards and the enemy soldiers as well? Are they all scripted, like their behavior, so you can discover the patterns they move, or?
Yeah, so this is one of the basics of that it's pretty standard for the stealth game design, where basically we want players to determine patterns in enemy behavior and kind of like just give players a bunch of different tools to kind of like intercept these patterns, like, you know, luring stones, grenades, blah blah blah, and so on, right? So it's all as you said, right? So the guards have few types of behavior, but each time you approach the compound, they basically...
Oh, dang. I forgot how to actually throw a grenade.
It's you have to select it as your gadget, and then just play it right R1. I mean, you're playing on the gamepad, right? Or on...
No, on PC. Mouse and keyboard.
So it's F key, I believe. Like, I'm 50% sure it's F key.
See, here they are. Looking for me. Now I have the hang of it. Okay.
Yeah, so right now they are kind of like agitated. You see the markings are red. What you can also do if you find yourself in like a picky situation like this, and it's kind of tough to go out because you choose, you know, higher difficulty, right? You can also always try to load game instead of loading last checkpoint and go back a little bit further before you made alarm, basically, right? So you can check your progress here. This one looks at the beginning, right?
I'll try to be a bit more sneaky and maybe take the first ones down just with a knife, as the game actually recommended me to do.
Nobody listens to us designers.
Yes. It was just, you know, I try to be a bit faster than robbing on the ground, actually.
Yeah, so if you crouch, basically, you don't have to lay down to be, like, to not produce audio. When you crouching, you're still, like, very, very quiet. So crouching is enough to, like, move pretty fast and, you know, like, still, like, being really hard for them to hear you.
I think it already... Jules, I mean, this is like, I think you understood what being a sniper is about, being especially fast.
You have to be especially fast at shooting people before they notice you. So it's like quite simple, like that's the principle.
Considering the loadouts that we saw at the beginning, I assume that you can unlock new gear over the course of the game. Does that also include like methods of camouflage, and how does that fit into the game?
So you have you can advance like progress your character by two mechanics. One is just basically changing, like buying new things and changing the loadout for the mission. You can also change loadout like in between the missions, but that's only possible on the exfiltration points. And then you have the whole skill tree, which is basically tailoring your character attributes towards the style you want, because it's essentially not possible to buy all the skills, but you might want, for example, carry more sidearm ammo, for instance, because you use pistol a lot, right? So you can do it, and then you basically use skill tree to tailor your character to your playstyle.
And one other thing that... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just that I'm just admiring Jules' new approach of taking down enemies.
I actually...
The silent way.
I've never played a Sniper Ghost Warrior game before, or any one of your games, I think, but there's been so many games where I really tried hard and reloaded a bunch of times to take the sneakiest, most silent approach, and I really enjoyed, like, also in other games, to first try to take out as many people as quietly as possible and hide the bodies and all that kind of stuff before, before continuing my way. Let's see, maybe I can find a nice bush.
This is like in a game like ours. Obviously, this is you would call it like a golden path, you would say, right? So, but it's not essential. Like if you're a good shot and like you move a lot and you can outsmart enemies pretty nicely. So one thing you need to take care about in this playthrough is that you only have your starting gear right now, and the sniper rifle you have in hand currently doesn't have a silencer. right? So
Oh,
once
yeah.
so once you shoot first bullet, the people around you are gonna hear it. Now this is done in this particular scenario for two reasons. One of the reasons is because this is actually a long shot map. So once you're gonna be past that roadblock you have ahead, you're gonna have to shoot for pretty long distance. I'm not gonna spoil it. And that's why we equip you with like heavy caliber sniper rifle, so that you actually don't have to aim for the head for the shot to be lethal. Actually, interesting thing is that snipers in real life, they actually rarely aim for the head because body shot is as just lethal as the headshot, but the body is much bigger.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently
But
talked
for
to things like
for
that.
the fun purposes and for the game purposes, yeah.
Everyone wants the headshot in the game.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, multiplier,
It's
at
the
least
ego
double
thing.
damage. It's at least double damage. We all know that it works that
How
way.
do you count double damage if you're dead? Like double dead, or how does it work?
It's like
Deleted.
Yeah.
Boom.
No need for a double tap. Yeah.
are the weapons all real weapons? Or are these made up weapons?
They are based on the real weapons, yes.
I'm heading for the OP overlooking the port.
So
Yeah.
we try to like keep up with the like calibers of the weapons. There are different statistics. Like each weapon is slightly different, right? So you have your heavier weapons which is affecting the sway, like how long can you hold the breath, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, let's phrase it carefully. They're based on real weapons.
That's what I said. I did, right?
Yeah.
No? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur, thank goodness for that.
Oh, that's a lot of people. Oh, wow.
One thing that I always find interesting, and I think the first time in a game that I ever saw it in the credits was actually in Metal Gear Solid 1, or Metal Gear Solid 2, where they actually listed military advisors. Is that something that you had for the game? Actual snipers, sharpshooters that I don't know, take like a QA check on the game mechanics. Does it make sense? Is it realistic? Is it too over the top, or things like that?
Yeah, it's something that we have to like really carefully consider because it's a game after all. I mean, we for each I think for each entry we had consultants from the Polish GROM unit.
Oh wow.
Also like snipers. And we ask them a bunch of questions, you know, try to figure it out, like how they think, and ask, you know, really like anything that comes to our mind, and then we need to just like figure it out. Okay, what can we actually use in game, right? Because it turns out that, like, you know, the solo sniper fantasy is something that like it's not really possible, right? Like snipers never work in team of one or two. They usually like you know, support units or whatever. But it's all about fantasy, right?
Because being a real sniper actually sounds quite dull. With the whole kind of sitting, sometimes they can be sitting for 2 or... But seriously, sometimes they can be sitting in the same spot for 2 or 3 days, waiting for something to happen to take a single shot. And I don't think we could sell our players on that.
When a plastic bottle suddenly becomes part of your equipment. I mean that is.
How do you do the testing then? If it's the 5th game in the installment or in the series already, I mean, are you testing every new edition, every new game with like former fans, or are you trying to achieve new target groups as well with the game? So
I would say like we try to be healthy mix of both. You know, it's always like this careful balance to. Like obviously we try to reach new audiences, but it's still at heart we are like tactical sniper game, so we, you know, experiment here and there with like difficulty and like the shooting mechanics and so on and so forth. Feels good, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I'm enjoying this. I'm really the sneaky shooty type of person in these games. So this is perfect. This is fun. And also just trying to figure out how to approach this, because I tried just shooting some people, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's too many people. I
like how you clean up.
Yeah, if they find the body, they alert it. We don't want that. Oh, but I like this one here. See, explosives. I can shoot those. That's like boom, Dad.
That's
love
subtle,
it.
yeah.
Remember, there is also an option to just sneak through. You don't have to kill people that you don't have to kill, really. I mean,
but that one was in the way.
I mean, I know it's like it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not as fun. I know, but sometimes it is a perfectly valid approach.
Valid choice, yeah.
There's some dripping here. It's also very satisfactory if you just sneak in somewhere and only take out that one target and then sneak out and no one notices. And then at some point, people are looking for the boss. Like, hey, where's the boss? Oh no, the boss is dead. What? Really? Why is the boss dead? How did that happen? Yeah. Good. What? It's fun. It's fantastic.
And where does this red puddle come from? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part of one of the fantasies, one of the sniper fantasies, and it's a strong one.
Okay. I assume I need to go through that big arch here on the right side. Let's see.
How does the save system work? Are there save points, or do you have to manually save it?
So, in this iteration, the game saves itself periodically or after certain player actions as well. But you have, as we've seen before, you have basically a slots for the save, right? So if the game saves in the moment that you don't particularly like, you can always rewind a little bit further if you wish. So there is no manual saving, and this is something that we've been discussing a lot within the team, like whether to do it or not. But we felt like the manual saving would kill the.
Could imagine that.
How do you? I'm missing the word for it. It would kill the
flow of the game.
That too, but what I meant is the thing.
Hide
thing.
The whole save system is something that we keep looking at game on game to try and refine and really kind of capture the whatever the word is Daniel's looking for.
Yeah, let me use my Google Translator.
Sure.
Immersion, maybe?
I can imagine that it's difficult because, I mean, I could imagine myself then auto-saving or saving every 5 seconds with every little progress that I made so far.
Yeah,
and the suspense maybe is then totally lost. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's many games do that, and it's perfectly valid approach. We just didn't want to, be the case in our game. Because we prefer players to kind of if you find yourself in the sticky situation, we want for them to kind of let's try to shoot my way out of it, or hide somewhere or whatever, right?
Yeah, that perfectly makes sense. Yeah.
Oh damn! How do I store my weapon? I need to climb up there.
You don't need to store your weapon. You can just climb up. Just need to look for the ledge that is low enough. You can use your scout mode. Yeah.
Oh, now I get it. Okay. When there's a little icon, then I can do that.
Scout mode to highlight the edges.
Oh, that's
and
that one.
You see the color coding, right? A bit more yellowish ledges.
Yeah, and also the white now. But yeah, yellow is the climbing color.
People in the chat, don't forget, join the raffle. Write down #SGW if you want to start shooting yourself.
No. Phrasing, Andre? Phrasing?
Phrasing?
I mean, what we can already see since Jules started the game, the graphics look fantastic.
And that's just medium.
And that's just medium, yeah. So this looks really, really gorgeous. For you, generally, what was your first of all? Have you worked with CryEngine since you started the Ghost Warrior series? And what was your main reason to use CryEngine above other available engines?
So when I came working at CI, that was 7 years ago, for Sniper 3, we already used CryEngine for quite a while. So I cannot probably speak why we choose the engine before it, because it was like happening like long time before I even joined. But as we the engine was really flexible, and we had like bunch of programmers working on the systems that we needed, and improvements that we needed for our particular style of game, right? And I think they did excellent job with like you mentioned, the graphics and the draw distances and whatnot. So yeah.
Is physics a thing in CryEngine? I mean, especially for you guys, considering the topic, the theme of the game.
Well, we have quite a lot of interactable elements that you can shoot, and something will fall down, and so on.
Plus all the bullet ballistics, of course.
Yeah, bullet ballistics, obviously. So yeah, we definitely use it. Now, I mean, we always try to push it a little bit further from the serious to the serious. But you know, like you only have so many programmers to work with, right? They like gold.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What is the size of the team right now, roughly? How many people are working on this series, or how many people worked on?
It's growing a little bit at the moment. We're around the kind of 50-person mark.
And that's been the size of the studio since you guys started, or has it changed significantly in one way or the other over the years?
Your choice.
I mean, it's still super impressive to have a game that looks like that done by 50 people, I think.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the Contract series, it's been around that kind of 40 people to 50 people kind of size, which we think is a really kind of efficient fit team size to be able to produce our games.
Did you just throw a grenade under your feet?
I misclick. I wanted to grab the buddy. Instead, I threw a grenade. Because, you know, that happens.
Don't worry, we've seen a lot of it, so you're not the first time.
Yeah, it's just, you know, F for grenades, V for picking up people. It can happen.
Yeah.
So this is your F pay respect version.
Yeah.
And now you get to do your first long shot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I'm in position above the port.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
So this is like one of the new additions to the series is the like very long shots, and it's interesting because the dynamic is much different than throughout like your standard outpost, just because the bullet travel time is so long.
Can you zoom all out again once more, please?
Give me a sec. I'm doing things here, Andre. That's important. I need to tag all the people so I know where they are. Because what I can do right now is I'm tagging all these people. They have these lovely triangles above their head. If I now take on my scope, you know, they still have these triangles above their head. If I do that without, look, that one's not being tagged. Horrible. And who would do that?
Just for all the social media people out there, in this case, tagging doesn't have to do anything with postings.
Yeah. Oh. You got two
Wait,
more.
and it's the CryEngine, right? So just want to be sure.
So the tagging is actually even more important on the long shot, because by tagging enemy you have information about how far they are. So you kind of, when you go into your scope, you know how to calibrate your scope, which is super important for the long shot.
Oh yeah, right. Because of all the bullet drop off and the wind. That's okay.
Yeah,
Did I tag everyone that I could see?
2 to 3 seconds just for the bullet to arrive where you want it to be.
That was very interesting in the tutorial as well. It's just cardboard targets, but even there you can practice very long shots, and you're just sitting there and waiting and waiting and waiting. Does it hit? Oh, it didn't. No. Yeah.
This is something that I wanted to ask quite at the beginning when you saw these little pieces of cloth hanging from those sticks. I mean, probably everyone has seen that in some sort of sniper movie where you use like flags or things like that to determine the direction of the wind. Is that something that is an important factor within the game? And for example, does the direction of the wind change and stuff like that? So you have to adjust?
Yeah, so basically this is something that we've been experimenting with, like how far. I mean, so first things first, like the direction of the cloud and the wind itself on the level affects your bullet, right? But you can basically, we didn't want for the players to look for clouds on the level to determine that. We wanted for the whole sniping experience to be like enjoyable by everyone, right? So it cannot be like too complex. So that's why you have the indicator in the scope that will show you. Nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that will show you like how the wind is affecting the bullet.
Look, he's still there.
But you have to still manually like adjust for that, which is, I guess, it's a good compromise between like being too realistic with it, because like the sniping in real life is kind of it's tough.
Okay.
I didn't see you now doing any of the calibrating.
Oh, you barely do. If I press Q or E, you can see the.
Okay, that's the little shadow guy on the display that I see over there.
The little shadow guy, but also, this is just instead of me manually having to aim up, the scope does that for me.
Yeah, the shadow guy is for this difficulty, he's not that useful because once you mark someone, you have the distance, so you can.
Okay.
But now I can match them up. See,
to-
this one I didn't tag, so I can figure out. That size and contraction.
This is normally, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is normally what the mill dots are for in your scope, right? To measure the distance.
That is my target.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful! I love
because,
that he walked there
go
because
on.
I already saw the hanging container, and I think I'll do that. It's-
So basically, because on the higher difficulty, you cannot actually tag enemies, right? So you have to rely on the mill dot in your scope to like determine the distance.
Yeah.
Which changes, I guess, a lot. Actually.
Yeah, and it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, Jules, Bon Jovi would be proud after that previous shot. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
You give love a bad name.
name.
Yeah. Oh, God. No explosives right with those three. That's a bit disappointing.
It's my life.
How far away are you, actually?
1,000 meters, something?
That's
Wow.
1,000, For Anton, it's 1,099.
Woof, that's massive.
I just want him to go back to the hanging container.
Yeah, it's patience.
Patience.
I mean, so how the long shots are structured is that you have
If I can get Zar's
Objective.
out of his office, I'll have a clean
Mhm.
shot.
and then
I see some maintenance men on the
he
roof.
walks around the outpost and you have bunch of ways to kill him, like bunch of interactable items and so on, and you have basically, if you go to the map screen, you can read the challenges for this level.
Wow.
It's kind of a little bit obstructed by my UI, like Twitch UI right now, but
yeah.
you can see here like a bunch of different challenges that you can you can try to pursue those challenges and kill him in certain way.
Yeah,
to
so
get,
an explosion is listed here without raising the alarm, in his office window, during his escape. Kill everyone in the port without raising the alarm.
Yeah.
Also very interesting.
But that's pro level.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so basically it's very open. Obviously this is like the first long shot in the game, so we try to like, ease up the situation here, so it's not like overly difficult, and then once you go across the game, you encounter longer and longer distances, and the targets are more and more elusive, right? They move a lot, they hide in the buildings and so on, and you need to kind of like, by observing the environment, you can figure it out, like, okay, like when you saw this container, right, like immediately something came to your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so basically it's like that's why the best thing to describe it is sandbox, right?
Is there a way to hold my breath?
Yes, you have to stop breathing.
Yeah,
Oh, you
just
mean in
press
game?
shift.
Yeah, in game.
Yeah, just press the shift key.
Shift key. Okay, that was it. Shift. Yeah. I should have played the tutorial this morning again, I think. Oh, fantastic. Okay.
So you want to try for the container?
I really want to go for the container.
Okay, check the distance on the container.
Yeah, it's 1,127, and
Okay,
I think
and now
that
you have
looks.
to time it right.
I think about. Dang it! Yes. Did that work?
Nope, slightly off.
Ah, dang it!
No!
But
What?
you can still kill him.
Yeah.
He's
Wait.
still not running. They're not like alerted yet. So just some container fell down because you are
Yeah,
so far
just
away.
regular stuff at the power.
Yeah, because you are so far away, they don't hear, like, unless they hear the
Mhm.
bullet pop somewhere really near them, like they will hear bullet hit. They should not hear the gunshot themselves.
Okay. Let's see. I think.
But that is interesting because that answers my question on how you clear the whole area without raising the alarm. If I would imagine that the sound of the gunshot at some point travels that far, but obviously it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, so this is one of the like balancing decisions we made. We wanted to, like, basically you have 3 types of sniper rifles. I mean, you have I think there's like 15 total of sniper rifles, but they break down to 3 different types, which is heavy, medium, and light. And they all have, like, we wanted for them to have like different purposes. Where the heavy sniper rifle is best suited for the long shots because they have very big impact force. So you don't have.
Oh, excitement!
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. That was the target.
Got him.
And, well, it's gone now. Everyone knows that I'm there. But, you know.
Yeah, but you're far away, so as long as you. I mean, there are counter snipers, I think.
I think
I
there was
think
one
you
on the
killed
roof, and I took that one out. Because the tutorial told me that the different little icons above their heads mean different things.
Nice.
And I know that just the triangle, that's like basic.
Yeah.
You have anything fun here? No.
So how many of the different sites do you have there? You mentioned scout mode already. That gives you some info about the surrounding.
Yeah, so the scout mode is your mask function, and you can. There is a dedicated skill tree for the mask itself.
Yeah.
And you can kind of expand like how many things you can see in an environment with the mask, even to the point where like you can auto attack enemies and see them through the walls. But that's like high-end upgrades, right? So
Or highlight which part of vehicles are going to do the most damage. And
yeah, stuff like that. So, but it's basically like moving towards like the Predator fantasy, right? So as you progress your character, you can be more and more creative with the things that you do.
At this point, is actually someone trying to follow?
So because you made just this like little noise with the explosion and then just killed the guy, and you quite quickly went out from there.
It should be fine, probably.
Yeah, you should be fine. There is like obviously there are limitations to like because there's like 1 kilometer between you and the target. So in case of the long shots, we prepared basically there are different scenarios for the player to encounters. Like sometimes you will see vehicles going out and moving your way, which means that they know that you are there and they're coming for you. But other times the target is gonna escape, for example, because he's like coward, and once the alarm goes off, he will try to escape.
And occasionally you'll even get people suddenly firing mortars at you.
Yes.
Okay.
Nasty.
Regarding the weather and also the surrounding, I mean, you mentioned before that it's playing mostly in the Middle East. Did I get this right?
Yep.
It is, yeah. A fictional country in the Middle East.
Okay, and you're not leaving this country, like there are no snow levels or anything like that. Most of the time it's Middle East all the time, the fiction country.
Well, we didn't want to just have the completely stereotypical everything arid, everything dry and sandy.
Yeah.
So we have got a bit more diversity than that in the levels. Like the second level is actually very, very green.
Yeah. And what about weather effects?
Yeah, there is. So basically, for this entry, we opted out for like dynamic weather. So the weather is predetermined in the places.
Okay.
Because I mean, we have discussed dynamic weather and even dynamic daylight, day-night at different times. But like Daniel was saying earlier, one of the things that feeds into our gameplay is this idea of predictability, that you can learn and you can retry based on what you've learned. And these things can throw in so many different randoms that it can make things tricky.
In the end, I mean, it was also never the plan to have like the total sniper simulation, but having more this kind of arcade approach to having fun in a sniper game, if I got it right.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole thing is about like striking the balance between like having a simulation where you like sit 1 hour on the spot and wait for your target, and something more arcade-ish, right? So we try to like the I think the best thing to like summarize it up is that we try to like everything that can like everything that is a sniper fantasy. We try to recreate it in a fun way, like in arcadish way, you could say.
And we do try and cater to as many kind of different people's playstyles as we can with that. It's one of the things with the difficulty levels, with having different functionality available or taken away at different difficulty levels. It means if you got people who really love the sniper fantasy, but they don't want to have the slow, patient approach. They want something that's a bit faster paced and still really fun. That we can offer that on the lower difficulties. Whereas for the people who really do want to immerse deep into the sniper experience, on the hardest levels, they can get a lot more of that kind of feeling from the game.
Okay.
I can already imagine that if you have like a minimal HUD and I don't know, like a shot across 1,200 meters or whatever, and you have to do all the calculations and consider the wind direction and what else there is, and then pop that perfect shot.
The coolest random thing that we learned. Apparently, real snipers also have to take into account the rotation of the Earth because of the time it takes for the bullet to arrive.
Yeah, it's called Coriolis force. So the spinning of the Earth, and but it's kind of it only goes into the account like I think past around like past 500 meters shots. But this is not something that we do in the game. Like there is a border. Like okay, that's too much.
But that's mad. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
humidity and all that stuff.
Yeah, but the game.
Jules, you look so focused.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there fall damage? I don't know. So I'll try to take the Skyrim horse approach and just wiggle my way down the side of the mountain, so I can avoid the people that are up there.
That's good because we do have fall damage.
Oh, good. But apparently at the bottom of the screen it still says 100, so I think I'm good with the health so far. Let's take another look. Yeah,
what's the rough playthrough time then, in average?
Oh, it's I mean, it very very dependable on the like from person to person, but it's between like if you're like really acquainted to FPS games and stealth games in general, I would say it's about 15 hours for one playthrough. But the game is kind of structured around like you cannot do all of the challenges in one playthrough. That's how they structured basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So
there is
one-
some replayability in trying
exactly,
to achieve.
and then you have all the new gear coming in, new skills for the character that unlock new possibilities, and you can just basically play around multiple times through the same thing, but having different outcomes.
But because the achievements stay with you if you restart or if you start all over again. I mean, the things that you got, the additional gear and the
Oh yeah, you can always drop
skills.
back and retry things that you tried again.
Yeah. So Jules, if you open the map, you can see like after finishing the first contract, you had like exfil point highlighted on the
that one here
on the map, right? So for now you can you decided to continue and just go for the next target, which is totally fine. But if you didn't want it to, you could go to the exfil point and kind of like exfiltrate from the map to cash in your reward, like upgrade your character and so on and so on, and then come back in and just continue from where you left off, right?
I'll actually do that.
Yeah, so it's kind of segmented, right? You can think of it as a let's say this is a region, right? And on this region you have 4 different targets, and you can do them all in one sweep, or you can go one by one. And then you can also repeat those targets, you can repeat the first one 3 times for extra reward if maybe there is a really nice sniper rifle you like to buy before going further, right?
Okay.
That's where the 2 friends were that I saw previously. Let's try to not alert them.
2 questions about that for once. As we saw, you have these different achievements per mission, like kill the main target with a container and without raising the alarm and so on. Are there different rewards connected to these achievements? And the second question would be, do these individual hubs within a region, do they communicate with each other after one target has been killed?
So the first question would be, these are kind of like the challenges are they have like 3 difficulties, which is bronze, silver, and gold. And basically it's and obviously the gold ones are the hardest one, and the bronze are the easiest one. And if you complete them, you can see the rewards here that you have different amount of tokens to gain, and also different amount of money, right? So you can if you go just for the straight kill with no achievements, you will get a lot of less money for completion.
Okay.
And then you can just click leave region, right? And it will go back to the region selection. Then you can go to the character. You have some new money now and new tokens, so you can go to either loadout or the development tree to upgrade your change your loadout or upgrade your character. And the second question, sorry, what was the second question?
The second question was, for example, if you start in a region with 3 different hubs and 3 different targets.
Right. So we will playing with this idea, but so the first thing is the option to share the alarm, right? So they killed the first guy, so now we're gonna be more careful, whatever. But it was kind of too punishing, right? Because if you don't want to load the game, you want to just continue playing, and then kind of if you mess up at the very beginning, you are being punished for it for the rest of the map, which is something that we didn't really want it to. Another thing is the stuff you mentioned about let's say you do the first guy as a first target, and then something else happens to target number 2, which is a cool option, but it's also very time consuming, and because you essentially have to do everything 2 or 3 times, right?
Understood.
Wow, there's quite a lot of stuff to choose from.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, and we've got some really cool little toys in there as well that can really like change the gameplay experience quite a bit.
Yeah. So you spent all the money already, Jules? No.
No, she only went with the skills. So the skills cost tokens. The upgrading of gear costs money.
Okay.
Basically, right? So we have, I don't see my Twitch UI kind of blocks the view, but it looks like you have 48,000, right? So that's not too much, but you can already change the sniper rifle if you want to try the other one, and maybe attach silencer to it. So then you can sneak through the middle outpost more easily, for example.
Silencer sounds like a good thing.
How does the silencer change the or does it change the power of the gun? I mean, you have that in some games that, for example, when you attach a suppressor, that, I don't know, like the distance of the bullets is reduced, or you have to aim a little bit higher because the bullet drop is farther, or generally the damage that you cause is a bit lower. Is that something that attachments like a suppressor do to your gun?
Yeah, so Jules, you have to, I think the Twitch UI obstructed. You have, once you select the rifle, you have to press X to go into the modify screen, right? And here you can modify optics, magazine, and so on. So yeah, so the silencer is, as you can see on the top right, you have some statistics of the weapon, right? So the silencer affects the damage, which is not really a true thing in real life, because bullets are just as lethal from the silencer as not for the game. But for the gameplay purposes, this is something that we wanted to do. It especially comes into play with like higher level enemies, where they start to wear bulletproof vests. So you have to be more careful with your shots, like you have to aim for the head and so on.
Makes sense.
Wow. I was just wanted to ask about, I mean, what does damage make a kind of difference with a headshot? I mean,
if you good shot and you go for the headshot, it doesn't change anything. You can complete like the entire game is set up that you can complete it with the basic equipment.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Are you actually tracking the behavior of the players? Like, are you checking what kind of selections they are choosing most often and so on, to get a better impression of what they are up to and what they're looking for?
I'm not sure. I mean, not to my knowledge, but I'm not sure about this. We definitely track the progress during the game. Also, like, for example, like how many headshots, like
we have various metrics connected to equipment and that kind of thing. But...
okay.
Does that also go for the individual achievements? Like, how many people decided to actually drop the container on this guy? And
quite honestly, I can't remember whether or not we track the container drop or not.
if you do, please let me know.
Well, I can tell you, everyone we've watched playing the game, as soon as they've seen that container, have gone, "I'm doing that."
Yeah, you can use tagging bullets for this one. For example, it's a nice one. So you have your regular bullets depending on your rifle caliber, but you also have slots for the special bullets, and we have various types for different sniper rifles. So this one, tagging bullet, is essentially tagging group of enemies for the long range, right? I mean, yeah. So it's and then the rifle you choose, I think it's a light sniper rifle. So yeah, it's a light sniper rifle, so the damage is much less. So you could also opt out for armor-piercing bullets in case you, for example, meet more of the tougher guys on your way. Then you can switch to the AP bullet and take them down more easily. So there is like a lot of ways to, like tweak here and there to,
Yeah.
adjust
What's
stuff.
The bullets that explode are still my favorite. So
Oh yeah.
What's a luring bullet?
Luring bullet is essentially so it's something that is commonly known from the stealth games, that you have some form of luring that you can, like throw the stone or whatever, right? But it's getting hard when you are shooting for like 1000 meter. Like you cannot throw stone that far. So that's how we
You
came
don't
up
know
with.
Nico.
Yeah, well, maybe he could, but yeah. So anyway, so that's why we came up with the luring bullets, right? I mean, it's totally like made up in sci-fi, but it's fun. It lets you operate, AI on really long ranges, which is essentially what you want to do. The luring bullet is really useful for the challenge to kill everyone without raising the alarm, for example, because you can split out pair of enemies and basically have easier time shooting them.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's a nice idea. Yeah.
By the way, greetings to the chat and Nitrous Oxide 10, who just mentioned that this game looks fantastic. And I think he has just seen the weapon selection screen yet, so I guess there's more to come.
And this is actually another good moment to remind you all, whoever's watching, that we have the raffle. We're giving away a couple of game codes, and we even have one super swag bag with lots of stuff, skulls and balaklavas and lots of neat stuff. And I will be really jealous of whoever wins that bag. So. What's the hashtag? I think SGW.
Exactly. Hashtag SGW. Please enter this in the chat so you can be selected within the raffle.
And more importantly, for especially for all the ones who joined the stream a bit later. So this is the second episode of our special Vertical Slice series about the CryEngine Game of the Year awards. So last week we had our first nominee. Help me out. What's the title of the game, Andre? You were there.
Not Life of Pain. Life of Pain. Life is Pain. Second installment
Life
of the
is Pain
series.
sounds like
like everyday life. Yeah.
Sounds like a good game.
Sounds like Monday.
Oh my god! Wait, comes to my mind in a second.
Oh, Astrid just said the alien cube.
The alien cube, exactly.
We sounded nothing like what we were guessing.
No.
Yeah, but you've been close with Life is Pain, I guess.
That's the first time. That's the first time the developer made, and somehow that stuck with me.
And this week, obviously, we have Canton and Daniel from CI Games talking about Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. And next week, we have the third episode, the third nominee. The games that we're going to show is called Uninvited Guest. It's a horror game. Astrid will play that game on the show for the first time because she's going to shit her pants, and we're all looking forward to it, and we don't envy her. So the most important thing for you all, if you want Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 to win the CryEngine Game of the Year award, then you have this week until Sunday, I think, to vote for the game on the official CryEngine forum. I don't have the link to the forum here. Does anyone have the link to the forum here? Astrid, I know you're watching.
I'm pretty sure simply Astrid has the link for us.
She seems kind of busy.
That's okay. We'll get there. But like I said, don't forget to vote for the game. And of course, you also shouldn't forget to tune in 2 weeks when we do host the actual award finale. So
once you have been detected, there's no chance to ever get hidden again somehow. It's not like the enemies forget about yourself.
It's definitely recoverable. You don't have to give up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just hide in the bush and wait a little bit, but it's not like you first you have to lose them, like lose the pursuit, and then kind of like find the spots and be sure that they're not gonna see you. You have
you could just kill all of them.
Yeah, or you can just kill all of them. Yeah, you have a silencer now, so you don't have to be afraid of alerting everyone after the first shot. Because we've been very generous with like how silencers actually silence weapons.
It's funny, right? Because this is quite a big misconception about suppressors.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, they really do like reduce the noise by a lot, right? But it's still like
Still super loud.
yeah, I mean, maybe not super loud. I guess like for the like 338 caliber with the suppressor, you would not hear a gunshot from like 100 meters probably.
Yeah.
But we still have to scale it down like for the game purposes, right?
Sure.
So we kind of follow the similar logic, but the numbers are just slightly smaller, basically.
Is that something that changes with higher difficulties?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure actually. It might, but I'm not sure because there is quite, especially like the biggest change you notice is on the Dead Eye difficulty.
Although
Because
it
that's
sounds
when
like it sounds like it should though. So if it doesn't, we'll do that next time.
I helped.
Wait, thanks Nitrous Oxide for the first vote. You got your at least
Hooray,
it's not the
thank you.
first, but the first one mentioning it here.
I mean, like I mentioned, I ordered the game yesterday for PS4. I'm really looking forward to giving it a go, especially now seeing Jules playing it.
yeah, if you generally speaking, if you're a fan of like stealth games, I think you should have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no! At this point, I know I definitely will. Because this is I'm a sucker for, let's say like competitive multiplayer games. I think the last time that I played one online, for example, also that was the Modern Warfare reboot like 2 years ago. But obviously in terms of gunplay and so on, there's still a huge difference, especially in how you approach your target and that sneaky stuff. That's always been a really nice thing for me. I always enjoyed that. So, and like I said, it just looks gorgeous. And I do love
Definitely.
the soundtrack actually. Who did the soundtrack? Is it someone from the team or?
No, it's actually an external composer
Yeah.
who's based over in Brazil, and he does some amazing work. We love him.
Yeah, we have our internal sound artist that he's responsible for all the sounds that you hear. But for the music, we have the composer. We've been working with him for Contracts 1 as well, and it's been really great. Like we think like he did really good job. I mean, both of them. Like
Yeah,
the
our
sound
internal
is very
guy
important.
Sebastian's also great. Let's make clear.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sebastian.
Yeah, I mean, with the sound, it's like like. I think the sound is probably the most hard thing to appreciate because like you only notice if it's really bad.
Yeah,
right.
right.
Yeah, thank you. Because
Usually
something...
that is something that just runs in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Nico.
No, this is something I just recently talked about exactly that to someone. I don't know who I had the chat with, but it's unfortunate that often you only recognize things if they aren't done well, but you don't really appreciate them if they're doing a really good job. I think one of the problems that comes with the sound of people being unappreciative is not everyone has like the same audio setup, so that already makes a huge difference. But I've always been a huge fan of when it comes to sound design, because I think this is what takes a game to just another level. And so yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be a bit of an unfortunate thing in the industry of sound being kind of left towards the end of projects.
Yeah.
For us, it's such an integral part of this kind of experience that we really want to bring it in right from the start of development and make it something that kind of grows with the game.
Which obviously makes it a bit easier if you have your own sound department and people being responsible for that from the beginning, I guess.
Indeed.
Jules, remember you also have a pistol with the silencer. That's right.
Jules, you're playing with mouse and keyboard, right?
I think your sound, we cannot hear you. Maybe remute
Yes,
it.
you're yeah.
Dang it! Sorry.
And
Can
now
you, like-
asking within the fire.
We have the enemy's position.
Ah, dang it. Yeah, I was.
Sorry for asking within the firefight.
All good, all good. You were right. Pistol. Yeah, something I. Whoops. But
Have you managed
using
to,
mouse and
kill
keyboard.
2 people with 1 bullet yet, by the way?
No. Oh, maybe I can try with these 2.
One other thing that people don't tend to notice early on is you can actually, if they've got a grenade hanging on their belt, you can actually shoot the grenade.
Nice.
I think when this one have.
Okay, let's try to kill the other one fast.
Got it.
A smoke
See, they-
grenade.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Clever them.
Yeah, they have a bunch of various behaviors depending on basically player actions. So you could break it down like the AI is tough, especially in the game where like you have all 3 types of gameplay, like combat, stealth, and long-range sniping, and all of those kind of need their own like behaviors, right? Where the sniping is obviously like the very focus for us. So that's why we keep trying to like, okay, how it could be interesting to fight with AI on the long range, right? Because I mean there is only so many things that you can do like when you are already in the scope of the sniper rifle, right? So we kind of try to give them smoke grenades, give them mortars and whatnot, right? To kind of mix it up a little bit.
In terms of gear, I saw one clip on YouTube, a short let's play, where the player also used
Ah, that's not working for me, I think. Nah. Okay,
where
we'll try
the
again.
player also used
Yeah.
a drone, for example.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
don't have the drone yet, right?
The drone the drone is one of the gadgets. You just have
Skills,
to
yeah.
buy,
buy
and
it
See
from
it
then you can
somewhere in the
use.
menu.
Nice. And okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there a chance that the drone was actually equipped with a gun? Or
What do you mean? Like,
I don't know if I remember when I saw the clip. The guy used that drone to tag people, and then it seemed like he actually shot people with the drone.
yeah. So there is a
Okay.
some of the gadgets, like more advanced gadgets, they have like in the development tree. You can also upgrade the gadgets, so you
Nice.
can kind of like equip the drone with the poison darts. It's very limited, but it has like obvious advantages, right? Because you can fly somewhere and just use the poison darts to take out the enemies from up above. Really useful.
Okay.
Psychotronic just mentions that it's one of the most coolest games that I ever played. The kill cam is sick and I like it very much.
It is
wow.
sick.
Thank you very much, Psychotronic.
Thank you.
Floop.
Nice.
Okay.
That's it.
3 times is the charm.
3 times the charm. I just had to make sure that they don't notice that I shoot them, or that I don't. They don't notice that I shoot their friend. Rather.
So I heard some rumors that you're going to rename your studio sooner or later this year.
We've actually already done that now. We're now
okay.
Underdog Games. Sorry,
But that is only for the developing part then. There is CI Interactive and there is Underdog then, or...
yeah, basically CI Games is our parent company.
Yeah.
And we have another studio over in Spain called Hexworks. So the Warsaw studio is now, it's actually Underdog Studio. Sorry, not Underdog Games, my bad. But yeah, we just wanted to give Warsaw its own identity.
Yeah, cool.
Ah, okay.
And we got a really cool logo, so we're
Nice.
happy with that.
Is there? I mean, this is like when you decide to go for a new
Oh.
name, especially rebranding a company or a studio that has worked under this particular name for many, many years. What was the idea behind? I mean, this is like Underdog sounds like it transports a certain message that you guys want to get out to the people.
Well, yeah, I mean, the two things there. The reason for it is CIA as a company has been growing and growing. Like they opened the Hexworks studio. We're involved in publishing indie games, and there's quite a lot of different things going on. So we didn't want Warsaw to kind of lose its identity as the company grew. So by giving it its own name and its own brand, it just seemed like the right thing to do at that time. And yeah, in terms of the Underdog name, we're a fairly small team that we like to think punches above its weight. And that is kind of one of the underdogs on the scene. And I think we're all kind of happy with that.
Yeah, makes sense. Sounds good. Sounds good.
What was
so
the
people in the-
lore button?
While the people in the chat love your game anyway, don't forget to make sure that you sign up for the raffle one last time, because we are slowly running out of time. Just to make sure, hashtag SGW. Yes, SGW.
I guess all in-
Hashtag SGW. And you can participate, getting a key or the nice swag bag.
Thanks for the reminder.
Always welcome.
Ha! No one can see me. I'm in a bush.
Yeah, it's getting intense.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm here, and I think I have to somewhere get here. Probably there's a way through there somehow. Yeah, that
Maybe.
looks about right.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, let's just try to hide in a lot of bushes.
We lost Jules to the sniping profession already.
Oh yes, but that was clear from the start that this would happen.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides of streaming sniper games, because like 50% of the stream all you see is bushes.
I'm used to that.
As long as it's beautiful bushes, it's okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
So sneaky.
So you're blowing up random crates now?
I actually don't want to do that. I'm just trying to get to the target and. Oh! Hi.
Can't you hear the barrel calling to you?
Jules, blow me up. Blow me up,
You mean as a great finisher? Apparently, yeah. I think.
You can also
Thanks.
go. You don't have to go through the cave. You can also go straight ahead, and you will, like, basically a lot of these maps are designed that there is always more than one way to reach the place. So if you find something, like some particular outpost too hard to cross, then you can just, look at your map and try figuring out other ways to reach where you want to reach.
Okay.
Which might or might not be easier.
Oh, oops.
Do you have vehicles in the game? Are there moments where you have to snipe someone out of a car, helicopter, or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, even on the first target that Jules killed,
Yeah.
I mean, she was pretty quick about it, but the guy actually go into the car and drives away, and you can kill him until the last seconds. The AI drives the cars as well. I mean, as long as they have cars available, right? So if you, for example, like see a car parked in the outpost, you can you as a player know that they can use it to kind of like go my way.
Escape.
And no, not
If you raise the alarm somewhere, you can sometimes see about 4 guys jump in an armored truck and come herring across the field towards you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that didn't raise any alarms. Perfect.
That's gonna cause a headache. Yeah. I think one of the things that I really like about the game, besides all the obvious stuff, is that it seems to be a good mixture between like. Now let me start over. What I really do like is having these regions. So it's not only small levels for individual targets, but you have this good balance between a huge open world just for the sake of being big, but still the areas are not that super small. So it's a good mix in between. That's what I really like. So having a couple of targets within one region and still having to travel from A to B to C here and there. That is something that I'm actually really looking forward to, because at some point, having these huge open worlds just for the sake of being wide and open and having nothing in it, it's got a bit on my nerves. So this looks really tempting.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of just, I mean, obviously, you can have like many approaches to this thing, right? So you because like open world could be as nicely suited to the sniping as the formula we are using right now, but it just, the open world is just so much more, to worry about, to like fill it with something, because it just, if you do it like empty, it's like it's just not gonna work, right?
Yeah, and I think ultimately we have to remember ourselves sometimes that we are only about a 40 to 50 man team.
Yeah.
And creating an entire fully open world game with that size of team would be, we're not really sure we could get the most out of that format. So this has become a really nice kind of middle ground for us, where we can still get a bit of that kind of open freedom without overextending ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's even because the contracts, I mean, Sniper 3 was open world one, but for the contracts, like we kind of were thinking like, okay, so with open world we have to have bunch of mechanics that need to be around open world, like being able to travel in the vehicle because the world is so big, blah blah blah, and like this what we have here is basically an essence, right? So it's like traveling around, sneaking around enemy bases, and taking targets.
And like you mentioned, I mean, it's like if you decide to go with still a large area, but compared to a real open world, it probably also gives you more resources to actually flesh out the regions that you have. Like you said, for example, planning in different routes, different ways for people to approach their target.
No, leave me alone. No, go away. No.
Probably basically a bit more of an immersive sim approach, I guess.
Yeah, I think it results in a nicer game as well for us. I mean, I'm not criticizing anyone else's approaches, but that thing of having maps that are actually packed with a lot of really interesting content is one of the things that Daniel's team have done really, really well. That thing of having multiple routes around the targets, so many things within each objective. And yeah, I think I much prefer that than the idea of just spreading things out into a much bigger area.
By the way, what I didn't get that before. What are you actually looting from the bodies of the dead soldiers? Do they give you additional money or
ammo? Mostly, I think.
Ammo, grenades,
credit cards.
Yeah, health packs. Sometimes small amount of money as well. It's basically it depends on the type of the enemy. So it's like for instance, on many outposts you can see officers, and the officers usually, like if there is something locked within the outpost, officer usually carries the key, for example. The guy that Jules tried to kill those two guys at the outpost earlier, one of them was throwing the smoke grenade, right? So from these guys you can, because they can use smoke grenades, you can also collect the smoke grenades from them.
Okay. Jules
think
now
we have to
works
come
as
to
an
an end,
efficient,
right?
deadly machine.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you're right. We are running out of time.
Let me take this one down, and then we can...
Shove him off the ledge.
One more knife!
One more knife. Oh.
That might
No,
we had that.
yep.
Window.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yes,
a perfect cliffhanger, you know? I'm about to approach the
What's
next
going
long
to
shot, I
happen
think.
here?
Still picking up data streams from
Oh, can you shoot this fuse box and fry the guy?
No, I think it attracts them, though. It's like, hey, what's happening at the fuse box? And then they run there.
Talking about cliffhangers, anyone in the chat who still hasn't participated in the raffle, last chance now, hit
Yeah.
hashtag SGW to be able to play the game yourself,
Looks like they're hooked into the
even
fabric.
after we are finished, or receive the swag bag.
Ah, see. That one has a different icon above the head. So,
Yeah.
special one.
There is one more special one. This one, I think.
Yeah. Heavy enemies.
Oh, well armored.
Yeah. Okay. But let's leave it at that. I didn't find. Is
Last
there?
bullet come. Let's try to
Come
kill
on.
the last
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone will do.
Anyone will do. Okay.
Anyone.
And a special assignment: try to line him up with 2 other guys, so you
Is
can
there-
have a triple kill with
Is there
one
an
bullet.
actual target here located in that area?
There is.
There's. Oh, look. There's a sniper.
Ah, get him.
He is confirmed on site, Raven. We're tracking signals from that location.
Okay.
The
Oh
hunter
yeah.
actually.
He's inside, sure.
More snipers. Okay. We can just take out some of the snipers.
Yes.
They might become annoying anyway
Up to you.
if we don't. Okay, I'm lying on the floor. What do we have? 1,000. Oh, I cannot scope any.
I think you choose the optics for medium range.
Yeah, I didn't have the money for high range, so I have to improvise a bit. I can still make.
Yeah, you
it.
can still do it.
See, nope.
More to the left.
Oh yeah, right. Oh shit, I forgot to take in the wind.
Raven, he's running. Shit.
And it's
Escape. No way he's getting away.
My target is trying to escape as well. I didn't even find the target.
maybe running towards the chopper.
Might be. Who knows?
Oh, but they've found me now.
Yeah, the counter snipers, yeah. A higher.
So there will be no. Will there be a final shot?
Ah,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
final
there's
shot
a
was
final
on
shot.
me,
There-
actually.
Oh, there's a final shot on you.
That was the final
Sorry.
shot. No, it's all good. It's all good. That was a lot of fun. That was fantastic. Oh, so good. Okay, quit the game, and let's raffle out the actual keys that we got.
Yes, please. Who can push the magic button to make the raffle happening?
I can make that happen. I can make that happen. We have 3 keys and 1 swag bag, right?
Yes.
Hmm?
Shall we start then with the keys or with the swag bag?
Best thing last, though.
Ah, okay, right.
Excitement. We need to build up some excitement. But everyone's a winner, more or less. So, first key goes out to.
I got 3 keys going on, and they go out to Psychotronic, Mimi, and Astrid.
Okay.
Astrid, didn't we say no one from the team?
Yes.
Yes, Astrid. Astrid, okay, we need to raffle this one again.
Okay, then I will deny
Right,
Astrid.
congratulations. Who was it again? Psychotronic, Mimi,
Psychotronic and Mimi.
Wozuma.
Please DM us here. Please DM the devcom Twitch account so we can send over the keys to you. Okay. And then wait, we need to find a 3rd person still for the
Yeah.
for the last key, and that's
Right.
Nitrous actually.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Do we need a
Uh,
drum roll?
We need a drum roll
Yeah.
probably.
And
Oh.
the swag bag.
Well, we do have a problem with the swag bag. We only had 4 entrants to the raffle anyway.
Okay, wait. I got that.
So I think one of the 3 that already got a key can also get a swag bag, right?
Right.
Okay, then.
But how do you select this then?
Okay, well, what about a random number generator? What about a random number generator that we can just, you know, I can ask my phone. If we say Nitrous is 1, Mimi is 2, and Psycho is 3, because that's the way they're displayed on my computer, I can do it like that. Hey Siri, give me a random number from 1 to 3.
The future.
Random number between 0 and 100 is 34.
No, not between 0.
Thanks God, the AI doesn't.
I love it. I love it. That's.
It looks like the future from the Terminator is not so close.
Skynet, stop it! You're dropping.
Random number from 1 to 3. It's 1. So that means
1.
Nitrous. It's yours. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yay.
It's 1. So Nitrous, it's yours. The swag bag.
Congratulations.
Please DM this account, and then I'll get in touch with you concerning address and everything and the handling. I'll quickly take notes of this. Someone's
Yes,
phone
and
is
for us,
ringing.
meanwhile, it's time to say slowly goodbye.
It's
But first of
time
all,
to say
big
goodbye.
thanks to Kenton and Daniel for being with us, taking the time and explaining us about the magic of suppressors, long shots, and
Well,
the
thank you
beauty
very much
of
for having us.
ballistics. Yeah, was a
Yeah,
real
thank
pleasure.
you.
All
No,
the
this
best
was
for the
really-
future.
This was a lot of fun.
And-
Thank you guys for taking
Yes.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, reminder, please vote in the official CryEngine forums for whoever you think should win the Game of the Year.
Yes. Then, of course, show up next week when Astrid is back to playing that horror
Jump
game.
scare.
Woo! And very, very, very important, be there in 2 weeks when we actually do the award show. Finding out who's gonna win the CryEngine Game of the Year award. We do that live from the studio in Cologne, Astrid and me. So better be there, tune in, and I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm so looking forward to actually getting my copy of Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 and 1. Yay!
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
No more
Thank
left
you,
to say
guys.
then.
Thank you very much,
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.